Hello and welcome back to All About Community. When we went to break, I said that we were going to talk about a program called Ceasefire. Been around for some time now. And Captain Jones is involved in that ceasefire program. I know at one point Captain Ursi Joyner was involved. And before we talk about ceasefire, how is he doing? And tell us what happened.
He's doing a lot better. I think the everyone in the community has become aware of what happened to him. He was shot while he was pumping gas at the gas station out in West Oakland. Fortunately, he's doing a lot better. I was talking to him just before I came in here, and so he'll be up and around in no time, hopefully.
Good. And if I recall correctly, he was intimately involved in that program at one time. Now, tell us about the program Ceasefire. What's going on there, and bring us up to date.
So Ceasefire is it's a strategy. It's not really a program. It's just a strategy that the city and OPD has deployed to help us combat gun violence. The three main goals, obviously, are to reduce gun violence, reduce recidivism, and to improve trust between the community. And essentially what it is before we take enforcement action against individuals, we try to engage them with dialogue. Sit down, explain to them what our concerns are, things that we are aware of, that they may be into, and we try to steer them away from the things that they're involved in the streets and towards service providers. And obviously, if they elect not to, engage in services or take a different path other than gun violence, then obviously the last course of action would be enforcement, which we want to avoid.
And I understand a number of ministers are involved in the program.
Yes.
And what is their involvement and how does that work?
So there's a couple of, there's some certain key points where the ministers are involved. So we do what we call a call-in. We call a group of young men who we know are engaged in, who may be active in a conflict that's really violent. And we'll talk to them, and we'll have some of the ministers come and try to reason with these young men to put the guns down. And sometimes it's hearing a message from the police is one thing, but when you hear it from people in the community who you may respect or have a relationship with, it's a better chance that it will resonate, and they'll listen to the message and choose different things to do other than be involved in gun violence.
Do you see this program as having any substantial impact on violence here in the city of Oakland?
I do.
Gun violence.
So we started in 2012, and from 2012 to 2018, we were able to cut shootings and homicides in half.
In half?
Half. So the program works. And just 18 months ago, before COVID, Ceasefire was working. And so I think that if we can get back to the strategy and get all of the pieces in place with our partners, I'm really confident that we can get the violent crime that's going on in Oakland under control.
Now, and I will probably come back to Ceasefire in a few minutes, but what about the police commission, the newly formed police commission? I'm going 1, 2, 3. I guess it's about 3 or 4 years old now. What role do you see that they play or should play or can play?
I think that the police commission's role is to provide civilian oversight of the police department, right? I'm not certain what their involvement should be over like crime fighting. I'm not sure what their role is in that, except for if there are things or policies that may come up that could create difficulties in maintaining public safety, that there will be room for conversation around those types of issues. But I wouldn't expect the police commission to be in a room trying to help us figure out how to stop crime. That's just really not what they're there for.
They have a different role.
Yes, they do.
Okay, very good. Now, I believe you may be familiar with a program called the OK Our Kids program.
Yes.
What do you think of that program, and what does it do? What is it designed to do?
So I was made aware of it some years ago, and I'm very familiar with the program. We have staff assigned to it, and I think that anytime you can invest in young people like the program does and show them that they matter, show them that they care, and especially have police infused in that, I think you can't lose. I think that if we can replicate that in different parts of the city and expand it and grow it, then we give our young people more opportunities, not just to be successful, but also to for our young people as they get older to have a better relationships with the police, and everybody wins.
Now, I understand the Oakland Public Schools a couple of weeks ago decided to discontinue the program. Have you heard of that?
No, I have not heard about
Well,
that.
in case you haven't, let me tell you what
Okay.
happened. The school board voted to discontinue allowing police officers to come on campus, and these are not police officers in uniform. As you know, these
Right.
are police officers who come in dressed as I am dressed today. Not as with a bow tie, of course. But the school decided to discontinue this program because they said it violated the school policy of having police on campus. It's really a misunderstanding of how the program works and what it's designed to do. So that's one of the things I want to really put out there and emphasize to the community that you should be concerned about this program and the fact that it is not being allowed to be on the campuses. But let me assure you, Bishop Jackson and 100 black men and a whole lot of others are fighting hard to make certain that this vote is reconsidered and that these officers and community people and 100 black men and others allowed to come on to the community and work together. We're going to have to go to break, so don't touch that remote. We will be right back. My name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is Captain Jones.